it's Rachel and I'm here for my end of April Flosstube update. So I haven't been filming week by week this month because I think I said at the end of my last video it was like an incredibly busy month. During the Easter holidays I didn't really stitch very much because I do a lot of gardening, so I was outside doing all kinds of things. I replaced a rose arch in my front garden, which was, oh gosh, I think it took like 4 days because I had to dig through clay soil and remove the old arch and remove a ton of tree roots. Yeah, I put a new one up, mow my grass, cut my hedges, all kinds of stuff, and then I grow a lot of my own vegetables, so it was kind of time for planting seeds, potting seedlings on, all kinds of stuff. So that's what I spent my Easter holiday doing for the most part, and having your hands in soil and stitching are just not really compatible. Yeah, so I did minimal stitching really, and then when I went back to work, we're just coming towards the end of exam season, so I haven't even taken my work project to work because it's just been really busy. I finished marking all my students' controlled assessments, their practical assessments, their written assessments on Friday, so the last thing I've got to do now is just send the marks to the exam board and it's done for the year, and I'm so ready for it to be done. So yeah, that has taken effect on my stitching, which I knew it would. So I'm just doing one video of everything that I've stitched, and then hopefully next month will be better. So let's get started then. So I have worked on this piece here. Just let me move my needle minder. I've just taken the patterns off, so my needle minder was loose. This is Royal Holiday. I've put a fair number of stitches into this, I think. So slowly but surely we are getting to the end of her dress. It's yeah, still a few thousand stitches to go, and of course all the beads to add at the end, but we're getting there. So that was the first one that I've worked on, and then the next one is, hang on, I'm going to have an avalanche here. I'm trying to balance stitching where it doesn't want to balance. This is Sweet Autumn Door by Petunova. It's available on my Bobbin, and I've put a fair bit into this, I think, actually. So that one's coming along nicely. I think we're almost halfway. I think about 45, 48% complete, something like that. So that was the next one. Then I pulled out Simple Treasures for Magical Stitches. I think most of these have been pulled out for Magical Stitches challenges. So I'm just trying to move the grime gauze a little bit. There we go. So this time I was working over here. I filled in some of the brown detail, a little bit more on the seahorse, and then I came across, I did these yellow stitches down here and filled in some of the coral area as well. So another one that is getting there slowly. So hopefully if I keep steadily going on all the pieces, I should have some finishes this year. Then we have, let's do this one next. So the work project is still not finished, but as I say, I did put some stitches in, I think 200 for a Magical Stitches challenge, but I really like this one. I think the chick looks really cute. So there's, let's see, there's an egg down here and there's a daffodil over here. I still need to put the French knot in his eye. I remember every time I show it that I've not done it yet. But he's looking nice, or she. So the last project that I've got to show is Fairytale Town, and if you've been following my videos, you'll know that I've been working towards this 100-day challenge. So that is over on a Facebook group called Extreme Cross Stitch, and the idea was to do 50,000 stitches in 100 days. So that ended on the 11th of April, I believe. And I'm pleased to report I met that goal right on the last day, because as I said earlier, I've not had a great deal of stitching time, but it is done. So I'll show you where we're looking now on the project. So I think I've worked on these flowers across here. I remember doing, I think I might have finished this house up. This is the start of a bridge and a horse and carriage that's on the bridge, which is actually my favourite part of the whole project. So I'm looking forward to doing that. I also, at the time that I met the challenge, took the piece off the frame and made a little video of where it is so far. There's still 30,000 stitches to go, so whether it would get this done this year, I don't know, because I do want to put some time into other pieces as well that are closer to a finish, but we'll see, we'll see. Anyway, I'll put that little clip in now so you can see it off the frame. So that is everything for this month except some purchases. So I'm going to go find those and I'll show you them when I'm back. I'm back and I hope the extensive purchasing makes up for the really short floss tube this month. So, I mean, some of these I have had a little while and I'm kind of drip feeding them through, because that month, that was it February, my birthday month, I think it was, when I bought loads. Well, I bought more than I showed, but I just thought this is a bit ridiculous, so I'll save some of them. And it's still ridiculous, like even for one video. So although I did continue buying for a little while, I think I'm more or less done now, because yeah, I need to be done. There's 2 kits by Oven that I really want, but they're super expensive, so we'll see. Okay, so the first ones are Luca S. I think Luca S is my favourite company, you know. Luca S, then RTO probably, I think. Anyway, so I bought 2 that are companion pieces. This is a bouquet of tulips. It's on 16 count white Ada. Really pretty colours. It measures 30 by 31 centimetres, which is 11.81 by 12.19 inches apparently. And it's just 2 strands, full cross and half cross, so straightforward. Then the companion piece that goes with that is Bouquet of Peonies, so kind of similar colours. This one, a little bit smaller, 29 by 31, is that right? Yeah, just fractionally smaller, which is 11.56 by 12.13 inches, 16 count Ada again, and 2 strands, full stitch and half stitch, so very straightforward. Really pretty colours. And this next one is called Holiday Magic, and I think this came out towards the end of last year. or maybe it was the start of this year. It's really pretty anyway. And it is 29 by 43 centimetres, which is 11¼ by 16.88 inches, 16 count Ada. And I think, so I've not seen this before, but I think that must mean blended threads because there's 2 colours there. So full cross and blended threads, I think. 2 strands, so that's fine by me, nice and straightforward. Then I bought 2 of the collage type ones. So this one is called Garden Plants, which I've had my eye on for ages. I love these type of ones. I think this is why I like the Marjolaine Baston, because they're all like little pieces and they're all sort of nature inspired items, like little nests and things like that. I think I hesitated on getting it because this half I really love, and this half I was like, the colours are a little bit drab. You know, it would be nicer if there was, I don't know, maybe a little bit of pink down here as well to kind of pull those colours down. But I went ahead and got it anyway. I do like it. I do really like it. Look at those colours. That's super pretty. It is on 16 count fabric, 53 colours if anybody's interested, and it measures 29 by 40 centimetres or 11¼ by 15.56 inches. The stitches, so a little more complicated I guess, still 2 strands, full cross, half cross, some French knots, and then back stitch in 1 strand and 2 strands. So I mean, nothing really taxing there, apart from maybe the French knots if you don't like French knots. I don't mind them. Then, same kind of collage style. This one is called Forest Animals. I love this one. I love anything woodland wildlife. Love that little frog there. How cute is he? And the badger, that badger's really nice too. And of course bunnies. Foxes are, I love that picture of the fox, but foxes are not my best friends. We have lots of foxes where I live and they dig up all my plants. So I plant things, put them outside. Next day the foxes dig them up. So I have to cover all my plants in chicken mesh until the containers are actually filled with plants, then they'll leave them alone. Anyway, this one is 30 by 36 centimetres or 11.81 by 14 inches, 16 count Ada, 57 colours, if I didn't say. Really nice colours on that as well, really autumnal colours. Then the next one is Mereshka. Oh my gosh, I love this. I saw online this one stitched up, also not in reality but online, I think on Instagram or somewhere, and the colours in the fireplace just looked amazing. And I know it's all like browns and stuff, but they look so nice. So yeah, I hunted this one down. It took a while to get. I think I bought it from somewhere, but I have a feeling they didn't have it in stock and they had to order from Mereshka directly, but I knew that Mereshka were out of stock as well. Otherwise I would have ordered directly from them myself. So yeah, I did need to wait maybe a month or 6 weeks on this one. It's on Ada, 16 count Ada. Measures 30 by 39 centimetres, no inches on it, and it's like a pale blue Ada, which I'll probably switch out for 32 even weave, and it's got some metallics in. I'd be very interested to see if they're any good or not. Then okay, I've got a couple of things from Abris art. So the first one is called The Night Watch, and I bought this one on Etsy, so you're probably better looking at that smaller picture to see the whole thing, and I really liked it. So it is on, well, it's on 14 count Aida. It's 9.4 by 9.8 inches, which is 24 by 25 centimetres. 19 colours, and Abris is made in Ukraine if you want to support Ukraine. And it's got a code for Cross Stitch Saga. So that's good. Then let me show the other two things I got from Abris Art. So these are actually not cross stitch, they are bead art, and I've never had a go at them. Obviously I've beaded on cross stitch, so I'm assuming it's the same kind of thing, but this was the first one. I just thought the colours were really nice and the beads look amazing. And again, these were from Etsy. It's called Crystal Web, and it measures 7.9 by 7.9 or 20 by 20. And it's on, I don't think I've opened this one. I opened one of them to see what the fabric is like, but I will show you. So it's like a printed fabric. Let's see if I can do this without completely destroying it. So you get all the beads and obviously some beading floss, and then the design is like that. So I'm really interested to see what it's like, because you can't really see holes in this fabric, and it's got kind of like a plasticky kind of feel to it, as though it's coated cotton, but I do like it. So we'll see how I get on with that. There is no plan to start it in the immediate future, but I'd never seen these kits before, and I just thought they were really interesting. The other one I got is called Air Adventures. Again, it's beaded, and I love the colours again, and just the patterns on the hot air balloon. So that's what it's going to look like completed. I mean, I suppose that's most of the pattern there, but I just thought they were really pretty. So we'll give them a go, see if I like it or not. There's only really a couple more designs that I like enough to buy. There's one that's a chameleon that I thought was really nice, and I think there was another one that I liked, but well, I can't like it that much because I can't remember what it is. Anyway, back to the cross stitch. So then I found on eBay a Lanart kit that I'd never seen before, and I thought it was gorgeous. Nobody else bid on it, and it wasn't that expensive. I think I paid about £20 for it. So this is the one. It's a gorgeous swan, and I couldn't even find an image online of it, because I searched it online to see if it was like a discontinued kit, or couldn't find it anywhere, so I'm assuming it is discontinued. But yeah, I thought that was really nice. The only thing I'm not too sure about is, you see, it's got this little like diamondy mark there. I like the text writing on it. I'm not sure about that. So I might have to find a way to maybe stitch that out. Although I didn't notice it until I actually got the kit. So maybe it's not that noticeable. But everything else I really love. And it's quite chunky as well. There must be quite a lot of thread in there, or pattern, or fabric. The fabric actually seems really thick. We'll see. Anyway, it's on linen, 27 count linen, 50 by 60 centimetres, so I guess that's a fair size. Then I gave into this dimensions one after telling myself I wasn't buying any more dimensions kits because the patterns are just painful to follow. I do not like their patterns with all the different colours and the back stitch over the top of the pattern. I don't like it at all, but I love this one. So I had to get it. And Black and White Hens is what it's called. It is 16 by 8 inches or 40.6 by 20.3 centimetres. 14 count Blue Ada. I'll probably put it on 28. I just think that's really pretty. Then the last ones I've got are by Bothy Threads. So the first one I'm going to blame on Laura from I Stitch Birds. Hello, Laura. I'd had my eye on this one anyway, and I saw her stitching it and finish it, and it's just gorgeous, so I bought it. And this is from a menagerie series, and I had a few of them saved in my wish list for the longest time, so I got this one, and I also got this one. So this one's in a box. I like these boxes better. And they're on 14 count printed fabric, so I'll probably leave it as the printed because I could have a go at dyeing something similar to these, but I'm sure it'd be fine. And I really like the chameleon too, but I've left that one alone. But I do have some of the sheep ones by Lucy Pittaway. So I have this one, which I think this one's my favourite. I don't know whether this was the first one they released in this series or not. It's on 14 count Ada, and again I'll probably leave it because I think it's full coverage, and it's 26 by 26 centimetres. And I also got this one. This one's, sorry, I didn't tell you the name. I'm sure you can see it. It's called Double Trouble. And this one is called Butterflies and Babies. And again, 14 count fabric. And 26 by 26. So that is everything for now. Hope you've enjoyed watching. I've got, in fact, I might put in, if I can figure it out, so this might be the end of the video, but if I can figure it out, I might put in looking at the Magical Stitches challenge prompts for May. That might be something interesting. I don't know if people are interested in it. I love seeing people go through challenge prompts and then talk about what pieces they're thinking of doing. So I might put that in if I can. If not, I will see you at the end of May. All right, bye-bye. Right, I think I've managed to figure out how to record my screen and the audio. So this is the Magical Stitches Facebook challenge group, and I'm at the May monthly prompts event. So let's have a look at the challenges then. So obviously, if you're not familiar with Magical Stitches, it's reading and stitching, but I never do the reading part because I don't have time, and some of the books I'm not interested in. But I do the stitching for them. So when you read them, they obviously relate to the books. So yeah, some of what it says doesn't make a whole lot of sense unless you're reading the book as well, but that's fine. It tells you what to stitch. So the first one says, the novel begins with the explanation and definition of two words, anxious and nervous. Stitch on a whip with words. So for that, I can do Dimensions Simple Treasures because there's words on that. Or I also have Parisian Bicycle, which I might do that one because I had Simple Treasures out for April. but we'll see what the other prompts say. Okay, second one. Stitch on a whip that's on dark fabric. So I don't have anything for that, so I'll have to do penalty stitches. So for each prompt that you can meet, you stitch 200 stitches. And if you need to take penalty stitches because you don't have something that fits, you do 300, which is fine by me because it's just more progress. Candles are used to light up the staircase. The children must climb to reach the penthouse of Mr. and Mrs. Squalor. Stitch on a whip that has a light source. So I have... Well, Simple Treasures has the sun. It has a lighthouse. Autumn Door has a lamp. And Cute Witch has got a candle in the pumpkin, so I could do any of those three. Oh, Royal Holiday has a candle as well. So any of those three will fit that one. Number 4, the penthouse apartment Jerome and Esme Squalor live in is described as being incredibly luxurious. Stitch on your fanciest whip, open to personal interpretation and opinion. Well, I think that needs to be Royal Holiday because she's a fancy lady. She's got Krynick, she's got beads, and she's wearing a crown. So I think that is my fanciest one. The penthouse has 71 different rooms and is the largest of the Baudelaires have ever lived. Stitch on your largest whip, that is Fairytale Town, without a doubt. Esme buys the children pinstripe suits because pinstripes are in, instead of buying them the gifts Jerome suggested that fit their individual interests. Stitch on a whip with clothing. I think Royal Holiday again. I guess Cute Witch, the cat is wearing a hat. That would be clothing. Oh, let me share this one while we're here. This is... So this is not one piece. I've put these designs together. I bought all these on my Bobbin. They are patterns by Anna Petunova, and I bought them probably about 3 years ago. And I've kind of rearranged them here. They're so difficult to arrange though. I want to stitch them together, but the keys are all different sizes, and so are the frames, so I keep moving them. You see, I'm looking at that row now and it looks like it slowly declines, but the gap between those two is not very much, and that's a big key. Anyway, I can faff around with that another time. It's not exactly telling me where to stitch them, is it? But I tried to... See, that one's not lined up. I tried to line them up so that the ends of the key are kind of the same. Mind you, that one's not lined up either. Anyway, I'm digressing from what I should be doing. In fact, let's do another digression. This is my whip go board, and as you can see, all but one are amber, which means they've culled, but I've not done them. But the May ones, interestingly, both mason jar line up to stitch a jar, so we'll see if we do that. I've stitched, see, I've not updated that total. I have stitched some of those Royal Holiday stitches, but anyway, let's go back to the prompts. Where were we? Right, number 7. Jerome and the children are sent off to dine at Cafe Salmonella. Oh my gosh. So Esme can meet privately with Gunther. When they return, the lobby to the hotel has been transformed with ocean decorations, the newest in trend. Stitch on a whip that has fish or some ocean scenery. Well, that has to be Simple Treasures. I don't have anything else, do I? Simple Treasures. It's got a seahorse, which is a fish. A starfish is not. And it's ocean scene, so it's got to be that one. The Baudelaires spent the next day searching for Gunther in the penthouse and throughout the apartment building. They leave a trail of breadcrumbs so they can find their way and know which rooms they've already searched, like Hansel and Gretel. Stitch on a whip related to a fairy tale. That has to be Fairytale Town, doesn't it? It has to be. I mean, I could call the... Let's just look at them. Okay. I can't think of oh. Snow White. It's got apples on it. Relates to Snow White. Poison apple. I don't know anything for that one. Puss in Boots. I mean, he's not wearing boots, but it's a cat. That one's on hold, so we don't include that one. That's not started. Anything with a queen. Now I'm struggling. Oh, does Snow White have a queen? Is that the wicked stepmom? Is she the queen? I don't know. It's a long time since I read a fairy tale. I don't have anything for Autumn Door. I can't think of anything. I mean, Little Mermaid, but that's not really a fairy tale, is it? I don't have anything for that. I can't think of anything for that. This one, Little Red Hen. Is that a fairy tale? I think so. Little Red Hen. Maybe. But Fairytale Town. I know it's got... I have the Abris art and the Dome picture here, because Dome has the better pictures for posting when I'm trying to do prompts, because I can make this bigger and clip that out and say, look, there's definitely a dog on this design. Whereas the Abris art one, you can't really see that that's a dog. But anyway, I think it's called Fairytale Town from Abris art, so... okay, number 9. List of in things. Dark, light, stairs, aqueous martinis, pinstripes, orphans, parsley soda, grapefruits, bright blue cereal bowls, billboards with photographs of weasels, car tyres, cross-country skiing, movies with waterfalls, magenta wallpaper, triangular picture frames, very fancy doilies, garbage cans with stenciled letters, yellow paper clips, vacuum cleaners, cotton balls, anything with chocolate sprinkles. Stitch on a whip that has any version of any of these. I don't think I have anything. I do have a new pattern that I bought from Amelie on VK. I actually have this tab open. This is Amelie Stitch on VK, which is the Russian version of Facebook, but she has the most beautiful patterns. Let me show you the doily pattern. Well, there's one there, but I don't have that one. There it is. So this is the pattern that I bought. I just think that's so pretty. And that would fit that prompt, would it not? Where was it? Very fancy doilies. But that would mean a new start. So we'll think that through, because I mean, I can't imagine there's many colours in it, but I've not checked if I've got them all. When the Baudelaire children face the dark black pit masquerading as an elevator shaft, they were filled with terror. These books sound really good if I had time to read. Stitch 100 stitches in black. Right, there's no black in that. There may be black on this, but I'm not anywhere near it. I don't think there is on there, or that one. I don't think there is on either of those. Well, there definitely isn't in that one. I don't think there is there. There's nothing on that one. There's nothing on there. That's... Ooh, there might be some black on there. But I'm not sure if it is black or it's a dark grey. There's no black on Royal Holiday. So maybe black on this, but it's like the odd stitch here and there. It's not, I don't think I have anything. Yeah, that'll be penalty stitches. Okay, next one. At the bottom of the elevator shaft, the trio find the Quagmire triplets. However, they're locked in a metal cage and Violet attempts to invent an ersatz welding torch to open the cage and free Duncan and Isadora. Stitch on a whip that contains an item you would use to try to open the locked cage. Be creative. Well, I'm going to have to be, because I don't have anything with a key on it. We could have a piece of metal off the watering can and use it as a lockpick. I mean, if we'd started that piece, but we haven't. And we could use a magic spell from one of the spell books. We could use a candle to melt the lock. A piece of the iron railings to pick the lock. I mean, it's a shame this Simple Treasures doesn't have an octopus, because they're escape artists. They could definitely pick a lock. If you ever go onto YouTube and watch octopuses escaping from tanks and all kinds of places, they're really intelligent. I think I just said that. I don't see anything on here that's, oh, maybe the end of that shell. I mean, it said be creative. The end of the shell could be used to pick a lock. I don't think daffodils are going to be of any help. I guess you could use a tractor to just pull the cage apart. I don't think mermaids can help. I mean, I could probably think of something on here if I tried hard enough. A spoke from a bicycle could pick a lock. A dragon, I've not even looked at that one. Could a wolf chew through it? No idea. I mean, if we're being creative, he could. Dragon could breathe fire and melt it. I don't think the jars are going to help. And that's it. Okay, we can be creative on that one. Number 12, after travelling the length of the long dark alley, the children realise that it has led them to the remains of the Baudelaire mansion, their first home. Stitch on your oldest whip. That would be... not those, they're not started. Cute Witch is my oldest whip. So, looks like that one's coming out. At the inn auction, the children are just in time to catch the last few lots to bid on. Stitch on a whip that you would bid on if it was in an auction. Any of them. I would literally stitch on any of them. So I'm guessing that would be an opportunity to stitch on Mason Jar lineup, since it's been culled this month. Or do catch-up stitches on another. We'll see. Number 14, Gunther aka Count Olaf and Esme hid the Quagmire triplets in a red herring statue. Stitch on a whip that has an item you could potentially hide a human in. This is all silly and in jest, so be creative. Okay, we're hiding them in a glass jar then. That's silly. You could hide them in a super huge watering can under a plant pot, in the wheat field, like I'm going to pick that piece up to stitch on it. It's getting neglected again. I so need to do that. Inside a pumpkin, under her dress, inside the doorway, on the other side of that door, in a lighthouse, in a shell. I mean, behind the daffodils, there'd have to be a huge vase. In a mermaid's lair, in a farmhouse, in any of those houses. In the snow, I don't know. It sounds, some of these sound like more like a murder plot rather than somewhere to hide somebody, but still. In a castle. I mean, a glass jar is just not a hiding place, but I said be silly. So yeah, we can think of something for that one. Where are we? Okay, last one. The book ends with our brave children talking about what they hope for. Stitch on a whip you hope to finish this year. Oh my gosh. Any of them? Well, they're nowhere near. Neither of those two. You know, I would hope to finish that one, but it's 30,000 stitches away. They're a long way off. I mean, that's a long way off, but I would hope. That's closer. That's closer. And so's that. And that one. So the one, right, Simple Treasures, Sweet Home Autumn, Royal Holiday, Cute Witch, I think, or Daffodils. So that is all the prompts. Hopefully that was interesting to people, and if you're interested in joining the group, there it is, Magical Stitches. And you just get, how many did you get this month? You get between 12 and 16, I would say. And then if you've never been in a group before, you literally, well, we could do it. You add a post, you write May Stitching or May Prompts, something like that. And you generally put, most people put how many you've done, so you can keep track of that. So there's 15 prompts, so you start it with 0 to 15. You post it, and then you go to the prompts and copy them. Control C for anybody who doesn't know that. Obviously not all into the same comment, so you comment on your own post. So cut them all except the first one, post that. Then you go to another comment, cut them all but one, do that. And then once you've done that, then you'd reply to your own post with a start and an end picture. So, okay, so Stephanie here has put her starting point on for prompt number 2. And presumably she's done the first one. No, she hasn't. She's just started on number 2 by looks of it. And then underneath you'd put the number of stitches that you've done. So in fact, here's mine from last month. So that's exactly how you do it. So you have the prompt, my reply with name of my piece, why it fits, you start, and then how many stitches you've done, and your end picture. So there we have it. I'll go back to mine before I lose them. I will finish off these and then do some stitching, I guess. Alright, thanks for watching everyone. Hope that was interesting, and I'll see you again at the end of May.